Hello, and welcome back to Besiege, where today I'm going to show you how to make this! It's an awesome hot rod that I've just created, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I'm going to show you how to make this today in around, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes. There are two versions of this. The one you see now, which has wheels up close to the front bumper, and this version of the car, which sacrifices a little bit of the looks just to be able to turn better. As you can see, the wheels are closer together in the middle here, and the bumper is much longer, spreading out the weight. You don't need to know this, I'm telling you anyway. Let's get to it. So both cars are pretty much exactly the same. They start out with 2 blocks in the back and 2 in the front, placing 3 on top with a space in between. Next, you're going to bring the middle block out by 3 blocks on each side and bring the end blocks out by 2 on each side. The end product you are left with should look something similar to that. Then you're going to fill in all the blank areas to make a nice strong chassis and place 1 block on this end. You will be left with a space just like this where you will put braces between them. Now your chassis is finished, just like that, and we can move on to the tail end of the car. So to make the tail end of the car, you're going to add 1 block like so, and another one just like that. You're going to bring 3 blocks off of it, and delete the blocks that it came off of. Then you're going to place blocks in between these two, ending up with something that looks like that. Then you're going to bring it back by 1, placing 2 on each side of the one you just placed. And then on the row behind, you're going to place another 2 on each side. On both these, you're going to add 1 block, deleting the one that you just built it off of. And that's that. Now you have to make the bumper. Put 2 blocks down like here. 1, 1, and then 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And delete that block, and the other block right there. I'm going to bring this down by 1, and then you're going to brace this. First, you're going to place a brace just like that, another one just like that, one more in the center just like that. Then you're going to come down here and place braces like that, and like that. And now you have the bumper finished. Now what you're going to do is start off making the cabin for said car. To start off the cabin, you're going to place a block right in here where you placed the first braces. And then you're going to add a block on top of it and delete the block under it, leaving the brace exposed. You're going to do this for all 4 corners. And that is how you do it. You're going to build a cross so that they're all connected. And leave the back open. Do not cover that. You're going to add a row of blocks going across the middle. And that is mostly done. All you have to do is add braces so this doesn't come falling off when you start to jump around in your car. So you're going to go to the middle here and place 1 to the side. You can tell where it is. And do the exact same thing over to the right. If you have trouble placing this, I find that if you go to the corner and place, it will always do it. And then you just have to move to wherever you want the other side of the brace connected to. Once again, do this for all 4 corners so that you have a nice, sturdy connection. Just like so. I realize that placing braces isn't exactly good to look at, but hey, it's needed. And that is the cabin's base level finished. So now that you have made the foundation for the cabin, you want to brace the rear end directly to it so it does not come off anytime soon. And you're going to come down here to these and place it to that block right there on both sides. You can do it either way, doesn't really matter. So now we're going to make the front of the vehicle. To start off, we place 5 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Then we're going to add 1 on top, replace this block with 1 facing downward, and then build 1 block facing out towards the front. Then we're going to go ahead and bring the blocks around, And that is the first part of the bumper. Now, if you are making the versions of the car with the wheels up close near the bumper, you're going to want to add one extra block on each side. If you are making the versions that steers much better and the wheels are much closer to the body, you're going to add 3 blocks. So go ahead and do that. So now, we gotta add the engine part. So you're going to want to go into the flamethrowers, place them just like so, and light to get ballasts, add 4 along each side, and it should look something like that. Now we gotta brace these down, just like so. We gotta do this to all the undersides of the ballast so they do not fall off. And we're not done with bracing them yet, because we also have to add these braces, which really are just for decoration. I think they might have strength, but I use them for exhaust pipes. So if you don't need them, or if you don't want them, then you don't have to have them. I just like them on there. So now, we gotta make the rest of the radiator, which looks something like this. You add 1 block to each side of this, 2 facing up, and add the armor, like so. Gotta have headlights, so you go back into weaponry, choose shrapnel cannon, and face those that the barrel is facing out toward all the people that you're going to not run over, because you are a good citizen, aren't you? So now that we have the engine in, we have to add more braces to the car just to strengthen it a little bit more. So you're going to start by putting a brace here, connected to the back. Same for the corresponding side. Put a brace on this corner all the way to the radiator, in between the light and the radiator. Same for the other side. Now we have to connect the bumper all up to the rest of the framework of the car, other than this little wooden piece. So you're going to put a brace right here, and right here, and people with the short bumper would stop here, and people for the long bumper would continue going. So you connect this part of the bumper up to right here. Same for the other side. You could also put another brace right here. I highly recommend it, down to here, just to add much more strength, make the entire thing more like a single unit than parts connected together. And now that most of the bracing is done, we got to add wheels to it. So first we start out with swivel joints. We add 1 like here and right here. Same for the other side. Then you go into mechanical, go to suspension, place 4 of them in this configuration, and then you're going to want to place swivel joints on them. Now we have to add where the wheel actually connects to. So we go to flight, go to ballast. On the rear of the car, the ballasts go 2 out. Delete the middle one, and then you're going to add 2 small wheels and a large wheel to both sides. Now, people who are making the long wheelbase, so the wheel is close to the bumper, will add 4 ballasts just like that. So it'll be 4 long and the wheel will end up here. Right now I am making the short wheelbase, so we're going to only add 2, same as the back. Do that for both sides, of course. And add your wheels. 1, 2 small wheels on both sides, and 1 large wheel. Now that we have wheels, we have to connect them to the suspension itself. Right now they're sort of free-flowing. So we go ahead and connect these up in a crisscross fashion. On both sides, of course. And we have to connect those to the ballast. So we gotta take my brace from here and bring it right up there. And then we just turn it around so we can see the other side. Put 1 brace there and connect it to that part. So that wheel is now connected to the suspension part. So we do that to the other wheels, exactly the same, just like this. And when we're all done, and all the wheels are connected, they should stay attached. I would test that before you continue with the project just to make sure that they are attached correctly. If for some reason the braces are breaking, you can also add a third brace. It just go to the middle part of the ballast and connect it to the outside part of the little turning gizmo here. I lost the word for it. What was it called? Swivel joint. Yes, I remember. So, the suspension, however, is not complete. We must add more, and we also must strengthen the suspension we have. So first we'll strengthen it. So we'll go ahead and click my little key mapper. Put suspension strength up to 3. Do that for all 4 of the springs you now have on the vehicle. All 4 done, we must add more suspension because it is still not strong enough. So go to suspension, and you are not going to connect it from the ballast up to the thing. You're going to connect it from the thing, or whatever you're connecting it to the ballast. So you're going to go, and we're going to connect it to this part of the engine, just the underneath part, like so, and the front suspension is completely finished. You don't have to do anything with it apart from configuring the wheels so they turn, of course. Same for the back, we just put it on this plank of wood right above the ballast, and that's the rear suspension done. Now that the wheels and the suspension are connected, we must change the wheels so that they turn at the correct rate, as well as change the key mapping so they can turn. So, for all wheels, you must turn them up to the speed of 2. Don't know what the speed of 2 is, but it is faster than 1. Fun enough. So, once you've done all the wheels to 2, you have to choose the middle wheel. So for right now, we're going with the front right. So the front right wheel is going to turn the car as well as all the other middle wheels on the car. So for the front right, forwards is going to be left and reverse is going to be right. This will turn the car when I do left and right. Same for the back, right, forwards will be left and reverse will be right. For the left rear, it is going to be reversed, so forwards will be right and reverse will be left. Same for the front left. Forwards will be right, reverse will be left, and those are the wheels and the suspension completely done. At this point, you could drop it, you could turn it around, you could drive it around, you could, I don't know, do whatever you want with just this. It's pretty much finished, but it doesn't look as cool as it probably could. So what we're going to do is we're going to add body to this. We're going to add a body. So the first thing we're going to do is take 2 wooden poles, place one right here and one right here. Then we're going to take some wooden blocks, place one right here, and then put 2 wooden poles on top of them, and then delete the blocks under it. Then we're going to take a brace and brace the poles to the block, just like so. Then we're going to take some swivel joints and place them on top of these to give it a little bit more height. Take some wooden poles, one on each side, and then one in the middle, and do that for the front as well. Then what we're going to do is take some braces and connect the tops front to back, just like so. And then we can add most of the body with wooden panels. First thing I always do is cover up this hole in the front, just like that. Then I usually do the sides. 1, 2, 3. Leave these 2 backs open. We'll get to those later. Place 1, 2, 3 on the other side. And then go around here. Cover up the back. Just like so. All the way around. Then we're going to cover up this part so you can't see any of the connecting wood parts. Go on this corner. Spin this around. This is going to be half of the wheel arch. The other half is going to be connected to the underside of this wooden pole, just like that. Same for the other side. Now we have to add the roof to it, which goes something like this. You're going to add this part of the roof to the underside of this pole going across. It's a little bit tricky. Very tricky, in fact. I can't get it, in fact. There we go. Go through card, do whatever you need to do to get it all. It's just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and add it to the top of the other side. And now you have the roof for it. Now, what we have to do is add all the armor pieces, which you're going to put mainly to the bumpers. Sort of like this. Start at the sides and work your way across. Do the same for the top. And even the bottom of the creation. This bottom part is optional. If you think it makes it look bad or it just feels awkward, take it off. Go ahead and do the same for the back. But do not put any armor on the top because the wooden panels does not actually allow it. Don't know why, just doesn't, so go ahead and put some on the bottom as well. And there you go, all armored up. And then these little two spaces that we left, we can add a one piece to each side, just like so. And don't forget to make the end caps a one piece of armor as well. And that is pretty much the car done. There's only a couple more details and the cameras to add. I will do the cameras right now. Go ahead and go into blocks, grab a camera block, and you're going to want to add one camera to this block right here. Make sure it is facing out towards the back. Then you're going to go in here, and you're going to want to configure the camera all the way to custom. So, the distance of this camera and the specifications are very specific. So, for distance, you're going to want to have it at 2.6. Go ahead and push that in. For height, you're going to want 54.74. Go ahead and do that. Rotation is going to be 12.63. Tilt is going to be set at 52.63. Roll will be set to 0. Yaw will be set to 10.53. Smoothing we're going to want at 0, and field of view you want all the way up at 70. And that is the first person camera done. If we go ahead and drop it, as you can see we're looking at the windshield right now, and the camera should stay stationary and not move at all. What you see there, right, those jumping up in front of you, those are the suspension parts. That is actually normal. If you do not like them and the handling of the car does not matter to you, you can go ahead and flip those upside down, which is just adding the suspension part directly to the ballast. It doesn't handle as well, I don't think, in my opinion, but it doesn't have that part sticking out of the engine if that bugs you. And that is the one of two cameras. The second camera is even easier. Just add another camera directly to the back on this part right here. And other than just changing the key to get in there from F to G, you don't have to do anything at all. It is now done. So now that you have the cameras on the car, there's only a few minor details to worry about, one of which is adding some floor. So go ahead and put wood panels all across the back here. Put some on the side railings of the doors. And if you feel like this is purely cosmetic and it actually might burn up your creation if you run into buildings, you can actually put an exhaust system in which incorporates the small torch. You just go ahead and put these small torches on the sides and put braces underneath to make it sort of look like it's connecting up to the actual, well, exhaust. Sort of like that. And then you actually want to configure the flamethrowers to be able to fire when you're moving forward. So you go into here, you want to set them to up arrow and hold to fire. Make the range whatever you feel comfortable with. I personally set it to the highest it can go. And that is the creation finish. So, if you have any questions about it, or perhaps something's not quite working right, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll try to answer it as best I can. And I will probably be making another video, hopefully not as complicated as this one, pretty soon, maybe in the next week or two. So, until then, I will see you next time, and I'm gonna go ahead and drive this car into the sunset. For Honor is a kind of okay game, I guess. Die, all of you scum. I'll see you later.